sneak. A rat ate that key. You'll have to get it back. Follow the rat's route.
Thanks, Master. That's exactly what we'll do. First of all, to have the rat spawn, you can have 10 alerts or more at that point of the game. Otherwise, the pile key will be in the drainage ditch. However, having the rat should not be a problem in a speedrun environment. Just don't go check the ditch if you don't see him immediately. He will soon be visible. The rat has always been the run killer, since its spawning position is RNG based and there is no way to manipulate it unless you are using save states or external tools. But if you know how he will behave, you'll most likely know what to do in any case. In this clip I'm using a cheat code to go through walls and a mine detector to follow the pile key inside the rat. It will be always taking the same route, so let's have a look. Use the rat. You can follow him by looking at the red dot in the radar. Once he gets alerted into this position, he will always get into the vent and through the pipes go towards the second visible spot, which is the best position to kill him because it's the closest to the stairs. Once he gets alerted here, he will always get into the vent and then proceed to go all the way up through the ditch. Notice how it keeps going up, then all the way back into the ditch. The rat doesn't care about anything at this point. He always keeps going into the first spot we've seen. Let's keep watching for a confirmation. And by the way, he always does this thing. And we're back at the start. If we keep alerting him, he will eventually drop the keycard or keep doing the same loop over and over. Now, the sad part about this is that in an actual speedrun we won't have the mine detector unless we want to burn precious seconds. So, when we get to the hunt, if he's not visible already, he could be in any part of the long trip, so we have to guess. But we can use a couple of tools to understand where he is. Once we see him in a location, we know where he's going to go if we memorize the pattern shown in the previous clip. To locate him, our main tool is the stinger, which can locate him if he's visible. If we're running all bosses, we can also use the auto-aim of the SOCOM to see if he's where we expect or not and act accordingly. Any loud weapon alerts the rat and makes him change position, so be careful to shoot and kill. And very easy, you can also use the MP5 to shoot on the run and use the auto-aim to locate him. Be careful, the rat also gets alerted if you get too close. To the practical part now. The safest option is to equip the stinger as soon as possible and check the spawn in front of you. If he's not there, turn on your right side and check the other spot. Be careful, don't be mistaken with the camera. If you don't see him in any of the visible spots, go into the middle and check again. If he is still not visible by the time you get there, you have two choices. Keep checking the two visible spots until you see him, or take a guess and try to predict where he's going to go. If he's taking very long to show up, he's most likely going into the first visible spot on the top left, as it takes more time to get there compared to the second optimal spot. You could see him crossing the ditch, but that's extremely rare as he stays there just for a couple of seconds and you can very easily miss him. but if you see him there, you know what to do next. Either go at the first spot if he's going into the pipes, or wait for him in the ditch if he's going towards the vent of the ditch. Psst, don't try this at home. If you are running all bosses, you can also skip the whole stinger location thing and just use the SOCOM or the MP5, saving a couple of menus. Run nearby the second visible spot. If the auto-aim locks on something from upstairs, you know the rat is in the best position. If it doesn't lock on anything, you can take a big gamble and go straight to the first visible spot. It is risky but allows you to cut down the time loss to 7 seconds only, compared to the best spot possible. Be careful when you shoot, mostly with the stinger, because if you miss or you're too far away when you're shooting, the rat will have enough time to get into the vent and you'll lose a lot of seconds before he shows up in the next spot. When using the stinger, pay attention to where you shoot as well. A good advice is to shoot where the rat is going to be by the time the missile lands. Also, shoot a little higher than what you're supposed to do, or you'll most likely hit the ground and miss him. If you're using the SOCOM or MP5, you can just let the auto-aim do its job. There is no way you can miss him. Also, a very important thing to keep in mind. If you see the rat visible in a position with your stinger, but you can't find him anymore by the time you get there, it means that you were unlucky and he already moved to the next visible spot on his own. Here's a little hack strat that you can try if you feel ballsy enough. You can also use grenades to hunt down the rat, but it is very unsafe because even if you know the rat is in the best position, he might slightly move towards the stairs and your nade will not kill him anyway, but at least you can kill him with the stinger if you're fast enough. However, most of the times the rat will not be there, and if this happens, you have no idea where to look at and you've most likely wasted a run. I really unsuggest this strategy even because on any percent you need those grenades for other stuff. This is pretty much all you need to know about the rat. Just remember his route and you should be able to deal with him after a bit of practice. Use the mine detector to learn it yourself if needed.